Welcome to Genesis Arcana. Last time we left off.
If our friends thinks we should go this direction, then perhaps we should.
This is eerie, guys. I don't like this. I don't hear anything.
I don't either. It's making me pretty worried. She's basically gonna mimic these birds' actions to try and say, hey, look, I'm a bird, you're a bird, we're homies.
Welcome, strangers. Is it your first time coming by? I knew you.
There we go.
I imagine as we're walking our way here, Nicole's talking to Kiwi like, no, I'm telling you, he was just too handsome. There was something shady about him. Talking about the adventure.
And Kiwi's gonna be like, listen, I don't know much about handsomeness, but yes. Yes, he was, and I don't know how I feel about this.
And Dell looks at the bugs and he goes closer towards them. Just in awe of what he's seeing.
She's gonna hide behind Draco.
They're just
These are...
like grazing away.
I've never seen bugs this big that haven't attacked villages. And now...
Misconstrued. Just like the wee little ditty earlier. I wasn't going to say the other word. It made me uncomfortable. I like this map. I remember it.
I can get my LaCroix.
Yeah, I'm going to be partaking in mini vice.
I'll just be right back, guys.
Alrighty. I do apologize though. Workers get bunk bedrooms.
That's good for me.
Slum party.
Who's bunking with who, though?
I'll leave that up to you.
Oh boy.
I like how he said that and then instantly put his mic away so he didn't have to talk. Get back here,
He'll
you
let us talk
coward.
amongst ourselves.
I'm munching chips.
Alright, who's bunking where?
Doesn't matter to Dell. This bunk beds is just life for him.
Yeah, DeCall doesn't care either.
Dealing would probably just pick Dell because he's the least observant. Not to be rude, but if he went with the call would have questions on why he was just like in the corner fiddling around with something all night.
Sadly, his wisdom's pretty good. It's just
Would he question
in
it?
character, he just
Yeah.
doesn't. In character, he does not question a thing. In all fairness, he's considering his backstory. Yeah, a lot of weird things happen. The questioning is just kind of not what you do.
Give me I'm gonna get some water. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, DeCall's kind of nosy. He would definitely be all over it. What are you doing? Why are you just standing there?
So, as a DM of multiple games, there can be confusions at times, but nothing so much as my name conundrum.
Just running out?
No. Just think about this. There is Cuthall, the half-orc. Tuckhall, the trollkin. Duckhall, your character. Drakehall,
My character.
Callend, which is a character from a game you don't know. Sorry, just it's a side squad. is have to keep them all straight. And one of those names, one of those games where it's the Tuck Call is the game where 5 of the other players have names that start with D.
Oh no.
Pop your letter.
Ah!
Apparently.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it. I have a hard time just keeping track of the 4 characters I play.
I'm glad that I try to keep my characters diverse enough.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, mine are all very different.
I just
too.
forget the last character I made.
That's why I asked for people to change their display names and their switch their as in the chat so it pops the character picture, so I could see who I'm talking to. Because me mentally, there's only 4 people across the table from me right now. But we are on the 49. Do we have a Kiwi? Do we have a Dakal?
Certainly do.
Do we have a Dell?
Yep.
Do we have a Julian?
You sure do. Might not be the same one though.
Alright, put the drink down, Julian.
Wait, what?
Julian
That
has
was the
like
other
a
one.
beautiful
I
twin
mean,
sibling.
yeah, sure.
So, you all finish up your tasks. It is starting to get quite dark outside. And right now, this is free time for you until work to be done tomorrow. If you wish to continue working. If not, bed's ready, and he'll see you at breakfast.
See, did the elf react when he handed off his drink to her and just like did nothing with it?
Oh, right. Thank you, stranger.
Yes. Now,
What brings you to this part of the bush?
horribly lost.
Oh,
Let's see.
I see. I see.
So, I assume you and work at the lumber mill, as opposed to the scouting party, right? Correct.
Ah, sometimes I work for one, sometimes I work for the other. I like to keep my options open.
How long have you been, uh, working in the area?
6 months now? We're just getting settled in. When I showed up, there's not much more than 3 rooms to this little shack here. Inside joke amongst the original ones. It used to be quite the small place.
I heard from Henry. Uh, hmm. I afraid I must be going somewhere else for now. And no. June leaves the conversation, and he is going off to talk to Priya, but he'll wait. I can wait for someone else to do their thing.
Alrighty. Dell, job's done. What do you do?
Dell, it kind of is a little exhausted, so he's gonna just immediately, after all said and done, he'll just go to wherever he's directed to go for bedding.
Pair of doors, down the hall, pair of doors on the left. Pick a room, pick a bunk.
He decides to pick this one. And he picks the top bunk.
Alright. By the way, tall people rarely pick the top bunk after a certain scale.
Bang your head every damn time.
Because
I would not know.
honestly, it's preferable to bang your head on lumber than it is to bang your head on spackle.
Ah, I would not know. I am not a tall person myself, but I'm sure Tadell banging his head doesn't do much.
Not much in there to rattle around.
Kiwi,
Yes.
what are you doing?
You know, when Kiwi saw this Dragonmore walk in with this very sourpuss looking person, she's quite curious on what's going on with that. She's gonna kind of walk over and say, "Hi, my name's Kiwi."
Oh, pleasure.
Oh, what's your name?
I apologize. I'm not in a position to say at the moment.
It's okay. But I was just curious.
Aren't your people from the far southern lands? What brings you all the way up here?
Oh boy, that's quite the story. But it basically starts with a really weird door on a tree.
She raises her eyebrow. This sounds like it's gonna be a good one.
Oh, it
2
is.
bottles over here. Come, take a seat.
And she's gonna happily take a seat right over here.
Henry comes down and puts a couple of small bottles of a light wine in front of you all.
She's gonna very politely say thank you.
Thanks, dearie. Please, continue.
She's like, well, it all started in the Feywilds, which is technically not where I'm from, but I was kind of lost there for a really long time. And I was with my companion, and I just found the weirdest door. And it reminded me of the door that I went through to originally get into the Feywilds. So, deciding, well, I already had a pretty rough time in the Feywilds. What's the harm of going through another weird door? And when I did and I went through the door, I not only lost my companion, but I wound up in a really weird temple.
She is listening with great interest, only really bringing her head back enough to take a swig from the bottle before she leans in as you continue.
And she's gonna say, and I wandered around for a bit, pretty bamboozled by the whole situation. And suddenly I meet a bunch of new people. And she's gonna point to Decall, Dell, and Julian, even though, well, Dell went to
Julian's like
bed.
right next to her.
Yep. And she's gonna say, and I met these crazy guys, and they're pretty chill. I like them. They're my friends. And she's gonna like scratch her chin to the kind of thing which say she's like, oh, and my friend Decall, he's Phalos too, so he understands all like the little weird stuff that I do. Like by my own choice, I can either make flowers wilt or bloom.
Huh. An interesting power. I know a few people who would have use for an ability such as yours.
Really? Like, what kind of people?
Well, imagine what you would do for a landscaping team. For instance,
Oh,
they set the gardens up and you make them bloom, all nice and ready for the customer.
oh, that's true. I actually didn't think about that. I could be one heck of a landscaper.
Tell me, do you have many friends with you today?
Yeah, I have my 3 friends. I mean, technically, they're my only friends here with me. But yeah, we travel together. Why?
Well, because of some changes to the trails that we didn't know of, I've had to take a different path than I usually would this year, and I was really hoping to try some of the wild axe speak that
Hmm.
they have, but I'm not allowed to run off and do things on my own, or am I allowed to get myself in danger?
But why?
Can we just leave it at reasons?
Of course, of course.
I happen to have a few spare coins, though, and I'd be willing to pay if you happen to collect some before I leave in 3 days.
Sure. I can talk to my group and see if they want to give it a shot.
It would be most appreciated.
Well then, no worries. We'll definitely give it a shot. I'll talk to everyone. Which direction do you think we would need to go to find what you call it? Apples? Apples? And she's kind of like stuttering to try to remember the name.
Oh, where are my manners? I'm Rosa.
Well, it's lovely to meet you, Rosa. That's a very pretty name.
Thank you. They often travel of herds of 8 to 10. They're not the most brave of things, and some have even been known to try and tame them for mounts.
Hmm.
They're large land birds, shaped very much like a chick. Their axe comes to a vertical edging at the front, and it goes long, high, and down, creating the shape of an axe head. Hence their name.
Fascinating. How many did you want again?
Oh, I just wanted some uh meat of it to try before I continue on.
Oh,
Even one would do for me, but I'm pretty sure someone may be able to use extra fresh meat around here. She gives a particularly dry side glare to Henry.
she kind of does like an awkward a chuckle, and she's like, "Well, I will see what I can do, and see what I can wrangle up."
I appreciate it.
Mhm.
I must say you have a lovely voice.
Thank you.
Alright. As that's going on, Decall, where'd you run off to, sir?
I'm sitting here after a few drinks. I would actually go and try and talk to this lady here, this elven woman. Excuse me, not to be rude, but do you by chance know a fair bit about animals and creatures the like?
I happen to know a thing or two about beasts in the region.
Do you by chance know maybe anything that can help my friend here? And I'm gonna open my bag and show her Mal.
Poor little thing. It's got the essence sickness, it does. I may have a thing to help, but it won't be able to tide him over very well.
He looks very sick, and I don't like to see my friend sick. We've been together a very long time.
Hmm. Don't really got your money, do you?
I have this, and I pull out 3 silvers.
Well, tell you what. She takes one of the silvers. This'll do for what I have on me. As for the rest, I think you might want to get your mum up to mountainside and try and get yourself a good node. reaching into the side purse, the elven lady pulls out and hands you about a silver dollar sized, fairly light red gemstone. It has a bit of a glimmer within the actual crystal itself and not on the outside.
Do I feed this to him?
He has to keep in contact with it for a while. Eventually, the essence will soak up into his body, and you will find that his condition is lessened. I fear he may be too far beyond what I have upon me is capable of treating, but it should subside. Should subside the side effects a little bit, ease his pain.
Thank you very much, and I'm just gonna tuck it next to him.
Luckily, because of his nature, he sees that and just kind of like subconsciously grab and scoops it closer to his belly.
He breathes a sigh of relief. Well, I think I'm gonna head to bed. Thank you very much again. I'll see you guys in the morning, I shout over to Kiwi and Julian, and then I'll make my way to bed.
Julian waves back.
And I'm gonna take Mal out, place him on the bed next to me with the gem, and I'm gonna like cuddle him.
Julian.
Alright. Julian walks up to Priya and immediately asks, "This may sound odd, but when were you born?" Year's age, you know.
Pardon?
Um, sorry, the different question. Are you the one always working on paperwork, or is it your father who does it?
Well, father really never really has done it. I'm trying to help him catch up now that I really know how to do this.
See, did he have someone else assisting him before, or simply him?
He said he had a friend come and help him out a long time ago, but told me we'd never get a chance to meet. I think they may have died.
So just to make sure, it looked according to the papers he was losing money, a random amount of money over the last 16 years.
No, it looks like there's been a little bit being tucked off to the side.
Losing, some being stolen, same thing. Okay.
Embezzling.
Embezzlement. Okay, then. How long ago did this friend stop assisting again?
Well, he said it was around the summer of the year. What are you getting at?
Your father is awfully incapable of doing paperwork himself, it appears. Yes, that's. It seems that he's been miscounting his coins consistently over the last some amount of time.
Oh. Alright, well, how much is he down?
Exactly how much
Are
it's
you
been.
You're just laying it all out there for her?
Yep. Being direct about it is. He's not sure how not to be direct about it.
Fair enough. So he looks at these and doesn't quite understand. Heads behind the bar and kind of pulls on the extremely... Father, could we go talk in the back, please? I have something I need to discuss with you. And his face just flattens out, and a good chunk of the locals just oh shit, kind of face going on. The door is shut. Shortly after, you hear some things kind of being tucked around the door frame and sliding in front of it, and then becomes quite muffled.
Can he still try to make out what's being said from where he's at?
Give me a perception check at disadvantage. 3 times I saved this map with the door moved down and the shelf there.
Oh,
3
that's
times
not
it
gonna.
came back and it's at the end of the bar again.
That's a 3.
So I do apologize. You don't hear much as for words, just loud, muffled loud. Raza kind of leads forward over to Kiwi and says he may want to play a song.
Julian just like lays his head on the bar where his head's like. He just like yeah, he just sighs.
I did a good thing today.
That you did.
I ruined a family. May have.
Nope.
Little did we know we wouldn't be the only show tonight.
Oh no.
So, Kiwi,
Yes.
would you do Raza's recommendation after seeing the tavern keeper's daughter bring him into the back and you hear stuff sliding around and then muffled shouting?
Yep. Kiwi's gonna walk over here, so she's like right in the middle of the room so everyone can hear her. And she's gonna play a fun song to try to muffle out that disaster.
Upbeat?
13.
Upbeat over the beat up?
Yep.
Julian's just like, at this time, it seems like this. I wish I could still drink.
Alrighty. To call, you're laying in bed and you hear Kiwi's voice just coming down the hallways, echoing in.
Just tapping his foot as he's laying in bed.
Kiwi's just singing the song over people.
Alrighty. Priya eventually emerges first, and she hard paces to her room and just slams it shut.
Oh boy.
Julian awkwardly tries to shuffle out the way before Henry comes out.
He can't hold it against you. He asked you to help. You did just that.
Before just saying, but Henry's like,
If anything, he knows you're doing your job now.
yeah.
And boy, did you.
Some might say a little too well.
You discovered my secret savings.
You could have written them down correctly. Not to be rude about it, but you'd understand how it looks if you told me to look over them, right?
I know. Well, first, you know what? Good on you for catching it. It's actually a bit of a clever trick back in the day. But, that was me putting money aside so I could, send her off to college.
See the argument? Then does he not want to leave, or
No. It's more we've been through some pretty hard times. And, that money could have been quite useful. And I didn't. Given time, she'll understand the need to save.
I understand what Jean looks down. I family's strong. Bonds. This bond will stay strong. I'm sure of it. I so this means I'm still on the job, right?
Oh, yeah.
I
I'll come up with another way to use an Illuma man.
I'll just go. He stretches out the O as he leaves and takes like the first open room.
Oh, very well. Just gonna ask you to mix a drink. And Kiwi, you
Yep.
finish your song. Uh, it is starting to get quite late. The moonlight is coming down quite nicely outside. You've seen that's just above dimly lit kind of bright. Must be about three-quarter moon.
Alright. Kiwi is gonna kinda yawn a bit and think, oh man, it's getting late. I should probably get some sleep. And, I think she's gonna first finish all the wine that, Henry gave her. And then, tell Rosa, I think I'm gonna go to bed. But, it was nice talking to you. Hopefully we can talk some more tomorrow. Once
Of
I...
course.
Hmm?
Of course. I
Awesome.
may not be available right away. I'm a bit of a, well, no offense, but night owl.
Oh, no offense taken. It's all good. I totally understand. I'm a bit of an early bird myself.
Well, that is good. Nothing against it, just not really my taste.
That's all right. And she's gonna kind of make her way off to bed, kind of humming a bit of a lullaby.
You turn to go back around the hallway, and on your first step, you go to look down, and there's
Oh,
kind of a ugly, wide-eyed, pale, almost ghoulish, gremlin-looking creature. Standing at about a foot and a quarter, it's got just dry dirt all over its body. Kind of breathes with a touch of strain, and it looks up, grins with misaligned micro fangs that are paced out horribly for any type of proper predation. And it raises its hand up and just gives a whole waves the whole body strength wave up to you.
so Kiwi looks a bit nervous actually, but she's going to smile and she's gonna kind of like kneel down in front of this tiny fellow and say, "Oh hi, are you the one I heard running behind me?"
Does a bit of an excited nod to it.
And she kind of chuckles and she gives his nose a bit of a boop and says, "You scared me half to death. Here I am thinking this place was haunted."
It looks down a little upset at itself, doing that thing where it just kind of twirls its foot on its toe.
Give me a sec. And she's gonna say, "Oh, it's okay. You don't need to be upset. I'm not mad. In fact, that was pretty darn funny. I probably looked like a big old scared chicken." And yeah,
It kind of starts giving you puppy eyes as it visibly shakes at the stomach. starts kind of lapping at its lips.
She's gonna say, "Oh, are you hungry? Are you hungry, tiny friend?"
It nods.
She's going to hold out her hand and she's gonna say, "Come on, let's go grab you some food then." You said, how tall?
1.5 feet.
You know what? Kiwi's picking him up. She's gonna straight up pick him up.
All right. Just teddy bear him out there.
Oh, yeah. And she's gonna carry him back out to the
Alrighty.
bar.
He makes excited grabby hands towards every ale in sight.
She's going to give him a gentle, like, tap to the hand. She's like, that's not yours, Mr. Grabby Hands.
No, not the like reaching for, just the arms out, hands open, hands closed.
Oh, like he's saying, I want that?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. She's gonna say, oh, if you want some ale, I can get you some.
Excited head nod.
Okay. And she kind of like pats his head and she walks over to the bar.
Alrighty. Getting a drink doesn't really take that much. It costs you a copper, but when you hand it over to the creature, it puts the drink down, it leans up, and it gives you a great big wide arm hug that almost reaches the outsides of your ribs. And reaches into its bag and kind of holds a downward faced closed hand up in the air like it was trying to put something down.
So she's gonna say, oh, here, do you want to put it in my hand? And she's gonna hold her hands out, kind of cupped to let him drop whatever he has in his hands into her hands.
Alrighty. Still covered in stone dust, you see about a quarter-sized emerald in the rough shape of a leaf, completely uncut from the ground. And it lets out a big smile, and it picks up the cup of ale and just kind of waddles over to just here, plops against the edge, and happily starts drinking away, pouring a little bit onto its lap along the way, just frothing all over.
Kiwi is staring at this tiny leaf-shaped emerald in absolute awe. Like, this is the most prettiest thing she's been given so far. And with like a little chirp of happiness, she kind of walks over to him, sets the ale down, and gives him a really big bird hug. And I think after that, Kiwi is gonna decide, alright, now it's actually time for bed. And she's gonna make her way along back to bed, kind of waddling along.
Morning comes round, and an hour after sunrise, you all hear soft bells coming down the hallways. Sorry, ringing down the halls. Breakfast, half hour.
We kind of wakes up with a groan, and she's like, 5 minutes. She's like half hanging off the bed.
You just hear, I second that beneath you.
She's gonna say 2 votes against 1. We get 5 minutes. And she kind of like rolls back over and puts a pillow over her head so she can go back to sleep.
Gillian finishes his final adjustments. He looks up and decides to wait a bit because he does not want to be the first person and yet the only person not to eat breakfast.
Dell pretty much, as you'd expect, immediately just gets out of bed. He hits his head on the roof. Go, and then goes right back, goes right down.
So who would like to come out first?
I guess it would be fair to say Del
I was
would.
say,
Or,
It would
yeah,
absolutely be
I was gonna
Dell.
say
Del,
Julian and
I'm
Del are in a
proud of you.
standoff. Like, Julian's waiting for Del, and Del's probably just waiting to see what Julian does.
Del is looking at you a little weirdly, Julian, but he doesn't pay too much mind to it, and he just runs off.
all right, Del.
Yep.
Sausages on stick. Fresh fruits, including grapes, bananas, and pears.
Ooh.
Big old pile of scrambled egg with what looks to be blocks of white cheeses mixed in. Plate of bacon. Plate a big old salad bowl of toasted oats with various mixtures, and what looks to be orange juice at the end.
Well, Del immediately goes over to the table, and he just takes a handful of eggs, takes that sausage on a stick, and that orange juice, and about 2 bananas. Well, thank you there. This is quite nice.
Of course.
Haven't been fed this well in, well, quite a while, actually. Yeah. And he starts just consuming.
People who work for me can at least know that they will have a good full stomach at the end of the day.
Well, that's always nice to know. It was same where I was too, but well, things happened, and I hadn't had the chance to have the same luxury in a little while. So it's nice. Something tells me that we're gonna be moving from place to place.
Well, take the time that you need here. Work up. Get yourself some supplies. Don't want to be making these trips without at least a couple of weeks' rations, just in case.
Oh yeah, of course. Leaving without rations, it ain't good. I'll tell you that much.
Do you and your friends have armaments?
I would imagine that they would, but we haven't really been in too much combat ourselves. I at least know that there elf fella has at least one. I gave one to that there Julian, but I don't know about Bert.
Would you happen to be willing to go through a little bit of risk in the name of work?
Sure, I see no reason not to.
If your friends feel the same way, after breakfast, why don't you collect them all and make your way back? I have a few tasks that need doing, and plus I have a few requests from around town that perhaps you could help me out with.
Ah, all right. That sounds just good to me. Happy to be more help than of destruction.
Well, sit down, enjoy. I gotta go back and check the hard boileds. They'll be out in a bit.
Oh,
Also got some bread in the oven.
always good. Hey Julia, this stuff tastes pretty good. You want some? He he slides a plate right over to you.
Julian looks at the plate. He looks up. Looks at the plate. He's like, hmm. You know, he takes the plate
Fair
and looks
enough.
to where he saw Freya went up to yesterday.
Fair enough, Trooper. I hope that you get to deliver it.
He literally walks 10 feet away. You can still see him. He knocks on the door.
There's some shuffling about, and Priya opens in a fairly thick cotton nightgown. Yes? Oh, breakfast. Is this for me?
Yeah, I assumed you wouldn't want to family.
Thank you. Sorry about yesterday. I had an interesting discussion with Father.
No, it's I heard about it secondhand. I'd like to say, you, your father thought he did what would be best for you. Family is family can be willing to do a lot, and sometimes it doesn't work out. But I heard what he said about it causing issues. I'd just like to say that I'm he definitely did it with best intentions. Hopefully, this doesn't. Hopefully, this bridge can be rebuilt if it is damaged.
Yeah, I just need some time to kind of let the whole thing work its way through my head to let me cool down. I'll be good in a little while, but she takes the food. Thank you.
Yes, yeah, if you need me, I'll be definitely going to get more food. Yes. With Lila conversation, he just walks. Little though, I she appreciated the food.
Ah, well, that's always good.
I'll get some of my own time. Don't worry about having to pass me anything.
That's all right.
Kiwi and Dekal.
Yep.
Do either of you get up, or are you just sort of staying in?
No, at this point he would have been like, fine, and just rolled out of
Okay, good, because otherwise Dell would have ended up barging in.
bed. He'll tuck Mal into the bed and make it with his gem and just kind of leave him there to relax.
Alrighty.
And then shake Kiwi. Kiwi, come on, it's been 5 minutes. We have to do this.
His tail now has color to about a third of the end, rather than just the tip. The gem is clear. No red left in it.
Oh, crap. I'm gonna need another gem. Alright, worry about that later. Kiwi, come on. Shakes her head.
Kiwi's just kind of like, no. 5 minutes. I'll practice my ocarina later, I swear. And she's kind of like swatting at him a little with her wings.
It's morning.
Yeah, morning, morning. Sleep is lovely.
Come get food. You don't want to miss breakfast.
Hearing the magic word food, she springs up and she's like, why didn't you tell me there was food? And she hops out of bed and runs out.
Nicole makes a mental note. Well, that was easy. Remember that for next time.
The magic word is food.
Now, the big question is,
Good morning, everyone.
who eats more food,
Hey.
Del or
Hello
Kiwi?
there.
Kiwi just kind of runs out. Good morning.
Good morning, you two. Want some food? Without you even answering, he just slides a couple of plates.
She's like, yes.
Thank you. Starts eating. And then stands up for a second, takes a little off of the plate, runs to the back room, leaves some next to Mal, and then comes back and finishes eating.
What was that about?
I had to make sure Mal had food in case he was feeling better and felt like eating.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess.
So, what are we gonna do today? I imagine you two are gonna be busy helping the innkeeper. We don't really have much to do today, do we, Kiwi?
Actually-
Julian shakes his head.
Oh, well.
It's like, after yesterday, I might not have any more paperwork to do for certain reasons.
Well, a good old Henry there said that there was a couple jobs around town that we could be able to do it, and we just had to wait on him to tell us what to do. Said it's a little
Okay.
risky though, so only go if you want
He
to.
did ask if we had weapons before
That-
suggesting the jobs.
Yeah,
The
so likely gonna fight some.
DeCall gets excited, steps back off his stool, and starts like shadow boxing. He's like, good, I could vent some of this. I haven't been beaten up in a while.
Comes back out. Oh, have you finished have you all finished having your breakfast and all that?
It was delicious, thank
Julian
you.
just nods.
Why are you nodding? Whatever.
Kind of looks between the lot of you, and he reaches under his counter. Kind of, you hear a few bottles sliding back and forth, and he reaches up and slides a small wooden bowl of green grapes in front of Kiwi. As he does so, he gives her like the grandpa smuggling you money wink.
He just makes Kiwi's morning. She immediately squeals and she starts to absolutely just dive into those grapes, just eating one after another. Absolutely, just she's the happiest little bird. She's once again just happily chirping as she eats her grapes.
The call would be like, "May I?" and attempt to take one.
She immediately just like a small like little bratty kid. She kind of like holds the bowl close. She's like mine. She kind of like lightly gives his hand a little tap.
Just frowns and walks. All right, what are we doing?
If you happen to need any supplies, I could start you off with a line of credit since you're going to do jobs for me. I'll even do the deal up so you'll be paying cost.
Can I ask for one additional condition, if you don't mind?
And what is that?
My companion's not feeling well in the room. Can I leave him in there?
Well,
And I hold up my hands. He's a little fey dragon about this big.
well, if it's something like that, bring him out. I'll keep an eye on him on the counter myself.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
I have to imagine he was doing calculations in his head, like, there was only 4 of them yesterday.
I'll run back and bring him out and set him down on the counter.
First off, about 2 hours east of here is a collection of rivers that kind of split up throughout the uneven grasslands, kind of creating a splitting. Roughly in the center of that, there's a lake that a few of the locals like to go fishing at. One of our more regular fishermen went out there and recently and hasn't returned. Could use someone to take a look into that. The next is our food farmer down in the plateaus north of us. Has been having what he says to just be described as a plague of ongoing nightmares, and he's gotten up in the morning to find his cows dry of milk and his chickens smothered.
The call looks perturbed at that.
Yeah, well, that ain't something you hear every day.
Sometime before the fall, we need a regular den that crabs migrate to be cleared out. Their numbers are starting to get a little too large in the off season, and it might become dangerous for the travelers if they continue to do so. Directly to the south, there's been a pair of apes that have been giving passing merchants trouble and always running off when they get a little roughed up. And finally, we have a report from one of the more erratic, occasional passerbys. He's a kobold, saying that lately water's been picking up sword and shield and attacking him on his route up the mountains to the southeast.
Well,
It's a kind of slime,
I don't
perhaps.
quite know how possible it is to take care of water.
For me, it seems like the most pressing issue is the farm animals. Without them,
I refuse to go, just blurts out.
to
Yeah,
help the
I don't
food
know.
supply.
I think dealing with crabs or something might be a little more easier. So food supply, I guess.
Yes, the missing person might be urgent, however. It's a toss-up between those two for me. What do you all think?
If I'm assuming if we go and search for this individual, we're gonna have to bring back some form of either proof of death or proof of life, correct? Or hopefully, in best case scenario, the person themselves.
Well, yes.
I assume proof of life would be
But,
bringing him back.
Well, I'd hope we could bring him back.
and should you come across a situation where none of the above is available, we'll discuss it when you return.
We wouldn't even know if they were eaten. He just
We'd
blurts out.
probably return the clothes unless it was a very clean consumption.
I don't know about you guys, but I don't like the thought of somebody out there lost.
Yeah, that ain't all
If
true,
you can save
Craig.
him while he's still alive.
Kiwi just kind of has like a bit of a serious look on her face, and she says, I don't like the idea of someone being lost either. Kind of hits a bit too close to home for me.
I was just gonna say that we both kind of look at each other and nod knowingly.
Yeah, and she kind of offers you a grape.
In addition,
He gladly
it's
takes
only a
it.
2-hour trip. How far are the plateaus, Henry?
The plateaus to the north, they're about quarters day.
If we find the missing person, it'll give us time to prepare for our next trip on the same day.
So we're agreed, the missing person?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good to me.
Henry, I guess we'll do the missing person. But a strange question. I know I have this spear, but do you happen to have a longsword on hand?
Give me a moment. Takes a while, but eventually he comes making his way back up, and he tosses down onto the counter a sword that is copper at the core, but has been edged with a thin plating of iron. Wooden handle.
Thank you very much, Henry. This will help. I'm strapping it to my waist.
Before we set off, what is the name of our missing person? Just so we can confirm if we find them.
Lennar.
Then, understood.
Lennar Sweetmoss.
Did anybody else have any preparations they'd like to make before we hopefully find this man?
This may sound strange, Henry. Do you happen to have any kind of medicine that might have healing properties? I would say healing potion because I recognize them, but I don't know if he would recognize it.
We have a couple of poultices in the basement for if you come into contact with the wrong plant and get a mite of an itch.
Not exactly what I'm looking for.
We also have some antidotes for a few of the different snakes, though you gotta match up the antidote to the right snake or you might be in trouble.
Do you have a general medical kit?
That I do. Just give me a moment.
As he steps away, he's like, people here are so helpful.
We are going to find a missing person. I assume he'd want us in their best shape.
Yeah, you are wrong about that.
There you are. So, this and that together are going to cost a silver 5.
Oh, then we don't need to run a tab. I hand him 2 silvers.
He takes that, gets a grin on his face, and then Dekal,
Mm-hmm.
he gives you 95 copper in return.
Ooh. I look a little strange at it, and I'm like, did you give me too much? Isn't this more than what I gave you?
No, that's the same.
Well, his paperwork does have a bad habit of missing some numbers.
Oh yeah, Julian, you would know from the paperwork, they follow a 100 to 1 scaling for coins in this land.
Oh, okay, that helps out.
That's why Dekal's thrown off, because usually it's 10 to 1. So he's like, you technically gave me back more than I gave you.
I assure you, I didn't give you too much money.
Okay, if you're okay with it, he just kind of shrugs it off.
Knowing that, Julian looks at the money. Oh no, he actually did give you the right amount. Apologies for throwing a jab at you, Henry. It seems the call here was confused.
I thought you were an accountant. How do you not know how to do math?
They do. This country does things differently from where we're from. Call.
All right, whatever. Okay, shrug it off. I want to hit someone. Let's go.
Doesn't want to think about numbers. He just wants to think about punching.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, did anybody think to grab food?
Oh,
It's a 4-hour trip.
We'll be back in a
I mean, I
day.
have extra grapes.
I got about 2 rations.
Okay, then we should be okay. Light snack.
Alrighty. As the party hits the trail, what will everyone be doing for the first part of the trip as they go?
Shooting the shit with Kiwi. Kiwi, do Do you ever find yourself missing that fey night sky? I dream of it often.
Actually, yes. I do miss the fey night sky, but I think I miss my real home the most.
Yeah, and he looks sad and he goes, I got to go home at least for a little bit before I wound up here.
She's gonna give him a comforting little hug, and she's gonna say, I'm glad you at least got to see your actual home first.
If you knew my sister and my master, you might not be saying that.
Oh, come now. How bad can they be?
I'll, one day you'll get me drunk enough and I'll explain it.
She's gonna give him like a little smirk and say, Don't tempt me.
He would just be like, my master was brutal and my sister was the same.
Oof. Were they very strict?
Well, my sister was pretty strict, but I think she actually cared about me. My master, my teacher, she liked to drink a little bit and liked to take her frustrations out on her pupils.
Well, that's not alright.
I wasn't kidding earlier when I said I haven't been beat up in a while.
She's going to give him a very concerned look, and she's going to say very sternly, If I see your master, I'm gonna kick her in the shin for being so rude.
No, pure fear washes over his face and he's like, oh God, please don't.
It's too late. Her shins are in mine. She's gonna ask, what was your sister like?
She was a bit of a hothead, always angry at me, and I don't know why. When I returned home, my parents were ecstatic, of course, and then he's gonna kind of look sad because he remembers, you didn't get a chance to return home. But she was angry at me that it took me so long.
She kind of like shakes her head a bit, and she says, Siblings are weird. My siblings are weird too.
You got that right. I can't disagree. What are you two doing as this chatter's just going on, but like behind you or beside you?
Well, Dell would just probably be, he'd be hearing the conversation and just kind of looking a little down, remembering his own quarrels with people.
Kiwi is going to offer you a comfort hug.
The call will take it. You could use it.
She's giving everyone who wants a hug. Her hugs are for everyone.
Julian just takes a step back when she offers, like, I'm afraid not.
Dell reluctantly takes it, but does not hug back, for he's afraid that he'll stab you.
She understands, and she's very gentle and very just pat, 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 pat. And she understands Julian doesn't want a hug, so she kind of gives him like a thumbs up instead.
Oh, let's see if I can still do this. He's also, while he's talking, he's gonna pull out his longsword and take some swings. He's like, I haven't used one of these in a while.
It's been a while since I used my own longsword. Or any of my weapons, actually.
Did you know that even the flat of one of these blades is capable of breaking a bone? And you just notice a pain and grimace come over its face.
Training must have been rough for you.
You don't even know.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wasn't one for hitting.
Do you know the exact pinpoints in which you can kill a man?
Oh God.
Yeah, 36 punches to the face will do it.
Yeah, that, and one swing to the jugular.
She just looks very nervous. She's a friendly bird.
Julian just like, it's even hard to tell under the shadow, but he's just impassive. It's military talk.
Yeah, I was never in the military. I was taken to the Feywilds before then.
Yep.
Well,
but my master was very good with many weapons, and she trained me with most of them.
I wasn't really born in the military, but as far as I can remember, I've been in it.
I imagine those spike arms came in handy.
The spike arms, although cool, they came in handy, just they've been kind of a burden in a sense.
The party makes their way along through the coastlands. It is uneven rolling plains for the most part. Sometimes there's a creek as shallow as a few inches that barely trickle along with whatsoever. Well, there is the occasional one where it's about 4 feet across. Some of you do have to jump, and pretty sure y'all could make it.
Just so you guys know, it looks like DeCall's pretty much walking on air. The forest is his terrain as an elf.
Julian is standing behind Dell the entire time. Ready to
And Dell is making the most rattling sounds you can make.
Despite there only being one plate armor, it sounds like a battalion.
No, he's wearing chainmail.
Chainmail.
What's that, Kiwi?
Oh no, I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, but what were you gonna say?
Kiwi's just kind of either she's waddling beside someone, or if the terrain gets too rough, she's like, I'm gonna take to the sky. She'll just kind of like float by someone, kind of like fly by someone or glide.
So, approaching the southeast side of the lake, would you go on the eastern shoreline or the southern shoreline from your point of view at the cabin? Would you go right or down?
I think it's down is where we have to go.
There are a number of trees about, and the hills go fairly downward from the east on. You're walking along the, as I said before, east side of the map. There are boulders, trees everywhere. The lake is just giving off the soft hush of a lightly windy day, giving it a little bit of wave along the top. A good chunk of the region is blocked off by all these trees blocking your way.
Is there anything notable on the lake, like the fishing boat that we're looking, or yeah, just mainly the fishing boat is what Julian's looking out on the lake for?
There's no boat now.
Oh, well, okay, yes, fishermen edges. So okay, that makes sense. And then I guess our best bet is to just look around the edges.
Kiwi, would you mind taking a look in the air again?
Oh yeah, sure.
Where do you go as you take off, Kiwi? How high do you get?
How high can I go? Like, I think 50 feet is like the height limit.
Height limit before you start getting potentially seen by other monsters.
Yeah. You know, how tall are these trees?
35 to 45, a few peaking 50.
I'm gonna say I'm about 30 feet then, so I'm still hidden by trees, but I can still get a pretty good view of everything.
A UI view?
Yep.
Give me a perception check.
Perception. Oh no, bro.
Use your inspo. Use your
One
inspo.
inspiration.
You're flying around and you're trying to get all super serious and scope out over the lake. But you get distracted by a lunchbox over here. Like a straight up picnic basket.
Like a normal winter one, or is it like a metal one?
A wicker one.
Alright. She spots it, and her mind says, grapes. She begins to think about grapes, and she kind of flutters over. Kind of telling the party, I found a lunchbox. I hope there's grapes.
Kiwi, wait! Chasing after you.
It's too late. Her
Well,
brain is in great
Okay
mode.
then.
She needs grapes. It's like over here?
Correct.
Julian just doesn't say a word as he takes an indirect route there.
Kiwi,
Yeah.
you hear some excited splashing and a warbled, panicked cry coming from the lake over here.
I'm going to cautiously kind of gesture to everyone that she hears something over there, and while I'm flying over, I like to try to squint and see what it is. So
Alright, you look around and you see about down 4 inches down the forearm a pair of light green humanoid hands kind of grasping out to the top of the water as they are slowly dropping down. A lot of bubbles coming up.
While the arms are still up, can I try to dive and use kind of like my talons, or like not to like dig in, but to like kind of carefully grab and yank out of the water?
So, Kiwi,
Oh no. Yes.
at the last moment, you see the fingers widen up to reveal a webbing between them as the arms go up, revealing a more fish scale-like pattern around the elbows.
Oh no.
As you see a wide face with a large catfish-like mouth, needle teeth, and kind of bug eyes on opposite side. Fish humanoid torso with long eel-like tail. Kind of a murky brown, webbing copper.
Well, I don't like that one bit.
Now, don't worry, guys. That could still be Lennar. We never asked what he looked like.
You're not
Reaches
wrong.
up,
You're not wrong.
grabs you around the waist as it somewhat slips between your legs and tackles you around the waist and pulls you down into the water. Everybody, please roll initiative.
Okay, not Lennar.
Oh my.
Well, I hate this guy.
I mean, it still could be.
Julian, you're nearly up to your shoulder in water.
Alright.
Is there this difficult terrain? What do you do? As something fish-like just stretches out, grabs Kiwi, and just snags her out of the sky and pulls her down into the water in a heavy splash.
Heavy terrain only affects movement speed and not like my attacks or anything, right? Just to confirm.
Correct. But
Alright.
once fully submerged, it will be disadvantage on melee attacks.
Melee only. Alright, let's do this.
Ranged attacks are
Damn it.
negligible for weapon, but spells are good.
Oh,
As
okay.
long as you can cast it with the components available underwater.
Yeah, then, let's see. Julian moves himself to, well, let me use the ruler first. Yeah, that's 30 feet of movement. He positions himself to flank the creature, and then he
That would
takes,
be a flag.
oh, in position-wise, not actually flank. Come at him from the side, and uses his lantern to cast Wind Lash. Your swift gesture creates a solid flash of howling wind. Make a spell attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 slashing from the searing wind and is pushed 5 feet away. 13 to hit?
That is a hit.
4 damage. And he's pushed 5 feet away. Which looks like, yeah, separate. Did not separate.
Keeps
Oh,
Kiwi
well.
with him.
She's not in the water at least now.
Oh no, she is. They're technically in the
Oh.
same spot. Just
Less
do
in the
not
water.
separate.
And
Anything
that's
else?
his turn.
Very well. We go to Dekal. Dekal.
I'm gonna move up to. Actually, I'm gonna move out here because I want to stay on the bank. So I'm assuming this is all like land underneath these trees.
You would be like knee deep in water. You're still good.
Okay, then I'll go here, and I'm gonna throw my darts at them. There's
He is within the water.
one,
He
Pardon
is
me?
within water at this point.
but he's not under it, right? He's got exposed. He's not exposed?
No, he's still under the water.
Ah, son of a bitch. So it's a disadvantage. I missed that one then. I went from being very happy to very sad. And I missed that one.
So that's the way the cookie
Ooh, that is
crumbles.
a nat 1 on your disadvantage. Please give me a fumble check.
Yepers. How bad is this? Please don't stun me.
Give me a dexterity save.
Oh,
Hold on, I'm looking for it. There it is.
Alright.
Well, past that.
Alright, you fall down. It will take half of your movement
I'll
to stand up.
I'll stand up, and then
He
that's
put too
my
much
turn.
weight into his second throw.
mhm.
The creature disperses a thick cloud of ink that just murks up and makes the water in a 20-foot radius around it just impossible to see through. As Kiwi, give me a strength save, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Oh,
Don't know if I can reuse inspo.
Kiwi, you're gonna disappear. I have you. Don't worry about it, okay?
I'm already concerned.
oh no.
Well, RIP guys, bye.
Wait, I'm in the water with the piranha.
Everything you have is being stained black. Same with you, Kiwi.
Well, it's not a phase.
No, not my black candle. It'll be even darker.
You'll be more mysterious.
Wait, no, that makes my character be more edgy.
Huey.
He doesn't have a blue cloak. It's just darkness.
You are the night.
With glowing white eyes. Okay, back to you, Finn. Sorry.
Kiwi, you feel a gash going down this side of your hip along the back and down the thigh to the back of the inside of your knee for a whopping 5 damage.
Ooh.
Please give me a constitution save to hold your breath.
17?
Alright, you hold strong, but that fucking hurts. And let me tell you, the ink getting into it is searing.
Kiwi is plotting violent revenge.
Alrighty. Dell,
Are they still gone?
they're somewhere in the water.
Oh boy. I'm going to hold my action to throw a javelin at it when it becomes visible to me.
Alrighty.
But you can still move around, so if you want to get a better vantage point, maybe.
Yeah. And I'll get a little closer.
Kiwi,
Mm-hmm.
you are underwater. You are wounded. Everything is black around you. There's something wrapping around your body.
No. Okay. This is fine.
What do you do?
Can I try to first escape its grip?
With that, you have to give me an athletics against it.
Okay.
Kiwi, you have no idea how you managed to wrangle it, but you slipped free.
Oh.
She is swimming as fast as her wings will let her to the actual edge of the water to get out.
Surface?
Yep.
Kiwi,
Yes.
it takes you about 20 feet before your head pops out of the water.
She's gonna pop out with a loud gasp, and is her feathers dyed all black too? Or is her just her clothes?
You look like the same situation as an oiled duck.
Oh no.
Kiwi just
Oh.
burst out with a gasp, and with a very ticked off tone, she very much so says in Sylvan, I'm going to absolutely destroy that frickin' fish, so help me.
And she did use fricking.
Harsh language.
She's trying
Unfortunately,
not to
I think only
curse.
one of us understands it.
Yep. But this is a a bird on a warpath. And can I try swimming to the right about here?
You only have so much movement speed.
All right.
As it is, you had to dash to get up here, and you would still have only another 5 feet.
That's fine. I'm gonna move my 5 feet, so do like just one square. I'm taking out the longsword, and this is still a very angry bird. And her swearing has went from Sylvan to English or common.
Julian.
Julian, let's see. Only go about this far. Moves to the edge of the darkness and readies a windlash if he sees or if he feels a creature nearby. That's not his allies.
A fish! Shit.
It's like, oh no, a tuna. I don't know my fish water and salt water. Don't question
What was
it.
that? Lunch.
I can't eat.
The cow.
What to call do in this situation? There's no enemy around. He would move over here. Right? 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, yep. And get ready to help Kiwi out. He's gonna attempt to pull out his mage hand now. That'll be my action. That'll be my turn.
Dell's still ready to do some spear fishing.
Dell. Held action.
Hell yeah.
Oh wait, did it appear next to me?
It bursts out of the water about 8 feet away, and it does a full body lunge towards you.
Is that enough for the held action? 20?
That hits.
Oh fuck, wait, Constitution.
They both hit. Yes, Constitution.
11?
Misfire.
Damn it. Then he just stares at it. He tries to use his lantern, swing it, but it does nothing.
Alrighty. And he comes lunging out. He intends to use it.
Adele, you still get your spearfishing.
I
Did you roll? Oh,
for
yeah.
my spearfishing, I rolled a 21, hit it with 5 piercing.
That you did. And sorry, Doi, not that attack. This attack.
Tell my family I love them.
Does a 19 hit?
It hits.
6 piercing.
Nice. I react.
Alrighty. 6 piercing to Julian. What you got?
I am going to link it, but I'm going to use my Boots of Swift Salvation, which is a reaction. I can teleport 30 feet when an enemy is attacked, and poof, and land an attack on them or lay on hands.
Oh.
And since I don't have lay on hands, it's going to
I
be
just say,
Alrighty.
before he shows up,
And you are right full of water.
I say, Julian has been shut down.
Thank you for joining our adventure today. The links to the music and our homebrew rules will be down below. Once again, thank you as always. Have a nice day.